Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Vyrgilla deck profile. This is one of the more budget-friendly decks that was available to build in the Illusionless Strife booster set, focusing on the Rewrite the Star Vyrgilla Grade 3 and all of the added support that it was given in the newest Cardfight Vanguard booster set. It's a pretty strong Grade 3 setup to provide for being able to collect the cards for just a couple rares and commons from the booster set, and then using some of the more generic Dragon Empire support that we've received throughout some of the other booster packs to help with its superior call abilities. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So go ahead and start off with the ride deck. For the standard, we have the energy generator with our starter consisting of Vyrgilla. When wrote upon, if you went second and draw a card, our grade 1 is Rising Star Vyrgilla. On Vanguard during your turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 for each of your rear guards. So the more rear guards you call, the better you have for a setup for this unit to be able to attack into. If you go first, you don't really need those rear guards because it's only during your turn. But when you go second, if you need that extra power boost, the more rear guards you call, the stronger this attack could potentially be. And on Vanguard, when you would ride from the ride deck, you can ride with a Soul Blast 1 instead of a choose a card from your hand and discard it, saving cards in your hand for you to be able to call out those rear guards that you may have wanted to invest in, instead just using your soul to do so. For our grade 2, we run Shooting Star Vyrgilla. On the Vanguard, once per turn, if you have 4 more rear guards, reveal a card with Vyrgilla and its card name from your ride deck, and this unit gets critical +1 till end of turn. So another way just to pressurize your Vanguard attack. And when it's wrote upon, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 card from among them, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. If it was wrote by a grade 3 or greater card with Vyrgilla and its card name, you can look at all of the deck instead of the top 7 cards. So pretty awesome search support, being able just to add the needed card you want if you just ride with your grade 3 Vyrgilla to begin with, being able to search the entire deck for a specific grade 2 card from among them to then be able to search and put into your hand, with our main grade 3 being Rewrite the Star Vyrgilla, along with it being the main grade 3 in the deck. For the Persona Ride power, we run 3 additional copies of this card as well, with its Vanguard skill being once per turn to Energy Blast 3, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, bind it, choose up to 1 grade 2 unit card from your drop, and call it to rear guard. And on the Vanguard, when this unit attacks, you can counter blast 1, choose one of your grade 2 rear guards, and stand it. So more, pressured rear guard attacks with this card, but being able to make use of the Energy Blast saves the Counter Blast and Soul Blast power for some of the other cards that we run in the deck to begin with. It's a very interesting skill that just has the once per turn Energy Blast, which you can build up quite easily with this deck, just, with the Energy Generator and the lack of other cards that use the Energy Blast abilities in the deck to begin with. For the other grade 3s, we run 4 copies of Stoutheart Dragon. On rearguard, when this unit attacks, if you played a normal order this turn, put a normal order from your drop on the bottom of the deck, and this unit gets plus 10,000 till the end of that battle. So one of our main go-to units or normal orders is Stardust Blade, one of the ultimate skill normal orders. So just being able to recycle those normal orders from the drop to the bottom of the deck means we can use this grade 3 to consistently use that order in the deck, as well as a means to power up this unit and give us more and more of that order to use later on. For the grade 2s, along with the grade 2s being, searchable quite easily in the deck, we wanted some that just rely on the superior call power of the Energy Blast 3 for the grade 3 Vyrgilla. So 4 copies of Stealth Dragon Hadan Rensu. When placed on rear by your Vanguard's ability, this unit gets plus 10,000 to end of turn. So it's a 9k grade 2, but if you call it out to rear guard, which is what you'll do for the majority of this card's play, you'll have a 19k attack unit and 29k if you were to Persona Ride beforehand as well. So added pressure with just this unit alone. For the other grade 2s, 4 copies of Blast Artillery Dragon Brachio Force. When this unit attack hits, retire this unit, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. So just more retire power, taking out some of our opponent's rear guards as well for the added setup to use for our plays. With the grade 1s, consisting of 4 copies of Stealth Fiend Shenri. When this unit boosts, if your opponent has 1 or less rear guards, or you played an order this turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 to the end of that battle, and at the end of that battle, put this unit to the soul and draw a card. So So since we have our normal order ultimate skill, we have the +5 needed for Stealth Fiend Shenri, and also just for the added plus power, it builds up soul for us to be able then to draw a card, which we can then use that soul power for our other grade 1 that we run, which is Acute Dragon, or FS. On rearguard, when this unit attack or boosts, you can soul blast 1. This unit gets +5 to the end of the battle for each of your other grade 1 or less rearguards. So if you have a full back row of rearguards, you have added power boosts thanks to this unit being able to hit for an additional +10 if it were to attack or boost. So the fact that it's either attack or boost means that we have a grade 1 that could potentially attack as well. It's not a once per turn as well, so if we have the soul, which can be built up thanks to cards like Shenri, we can attack with this unit, then use our Vyrgilla to be able to restand it, and then use the soul blast again for another added power attack, since it's just for the end of that battle, so you have to regain the power again once it attacks again. And also the 4 copies of our Sentinel being Twin Buckler Dragon. I believe this is why they just said grade 2 for the Vyrgilla search effect. Otherwise, you would just search out a Sentinel with that card. But still, the added support. If you want to run Elementaria Sanctitude in the deck, you could just drop 1 copy of Twin Buckler Dragon for a copy of that Blitz order. But for the actual orders we run in the deck, we are running, which I'll place them this way just so it is easier to read since it is a sideways order, and that is the 4 copies of Stardust Blade. You play this card with a counter +1 if you have a Vanguard with Vyrgilla in its card name. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from among them. Call it to rearguard and shuffle your deck. Choose 1 of your Vanguards and it gets auto Vanguard when your rearguard is retired by your opponent's card ability. Search your deck for up to 1 normal unit, call to rearguard, and shuffle your deck. So with this card, and on Vanguard, this unit gets +3,000 for each normal unit on your rearguard and in your drop zone to the end of the turn. So this is the way just to boost up the power of your Vanguard, but also have it so you have the option with your Vanguard for your opponent to retire them, to at least be able to replace the units that were retired thanks to your Vanguard being one that wants to be supported by its many rearguard companions. So very, very awesome, and definitely a 4 of since it can be recycled. So you always have the option to use this order available to you. Also 2 copies of the Blitz order, Bonds Between Humans and Dragons. Another Energy Blast 2 if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. Choose 1 of your Vanguards and it gets +25,000 till the end of that battle. Added shield power for your Vyrgilla Vanguard, just with the cost of your Energy Blast that you use. And lastly, the 1 Gradius Gradel. So we have another order to rely on, but also one that can provide Persona Ride power to our Vanguard and our front row units. For the trigger lineup, we're going with the 7 criticals, so 4 copies of Burning Flail Dragon and the 3 copies of Kondok Spark Dragon, with our next trigger being the 4 copies of Blaze Maiden Parama. More added pressure, as I mentioned before, with our Vanguard just to be able to hit some bigger numbers, as well as having the 5k additional shield if our opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and our heal being White Light Dragon Parasalis, just the generic heals for the deck, with our overtrigger being the Dragveda. Added pressure to the Vanguard is always good when you can restand that Vanguard and attack again with it. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, just a look at a pretty interesting, pretty budget-friendly deck from the latest Cardfight Vanguard booster set. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.